Carrying a handgun can absolutely save your life, but only if you're carrying it the right way. Every single day, millions of Americans gear up with good intentions. They pick out the right firearm, the right caliber, maybe even drop serious cash on a top-tier holster. But here's the truth most folks overlook. How you carry that gun? It might matter more than what you're carrying. Pick the wrong method, and you're not just sacrificing comfort. You're risking your reaction time. You're risking your firearm getting snatched. And worst of all, you're putting your own life on the line. In this video, we're diving into the 3 biggest concealed carry mistakes we see out there. These aren't just little slip-ups. They're the kind of mistakes that can get you hurt, disarmed, or worse. And believe me, they're more common than you think. So before you step out the door with your EDC setup today, ask yourself, are you truly ready? Or are you unknowingly carrying in a way that could set you up to fail? Let's get into it. Let's kick things off by walking through the different ways people carry a handgun, and why each method has its fans and its flaws. There's more than one way to carry concealed. Inside the waistband, outside the waistband, appendix carry, small of back, even ankle carry. Every method has its loyal defenders. But here's the thing. The way you carry affects more than just comfort. It affects your draw speed, your retention, your ability to react under stress, and whether that gun stays where it's supposed to or doesn't. Now let's be clear. No carry method is one size fits all. Your body type, your routine, your clothing, and your level of training, they all matter. But here's the catch. Some methods aren't just uncomfortable. They're dangerous. This isn't about ranking methods from best to worst. We're calling out the ones that could get you hurt. So just because your buddy swears by it, or some YouTuber makes it look cool, doesn't mean it's right for you. Any solid carry method has to meet 3 standards. 1, it keeps your weapon secure. 2, it lets you draw fast and natural. 3, it doesn't put your body at unnecessary risk. If it fails even one of those, it's time to rethink how you carry. Let's start with the most debated carry style out there, appendix carry. It's taken off big time over the last few years. It's fast, it's easy to conceal, and it keeps your gun right up front, just to the side of your belt buckle. People who love it say it gives you the quickest draw and the best concealment, especially in close quarters. And you know what? They're not wrong. But there's a side to appendix carry that doesn't get talked about enough. And it comes down to one brutal reality. If you screw up while reholstering, you might shoot yourself. And not just anywhere, but in a place no man wants to get shot. We're talking femoral artery, bladder, intestines. One negligent discharge in that area, and it's not just painful, it's fatal. And here's the scary part. The pistols most folks carry in the appendix position, they're often striker-fired, no external safety, like a Glock or a SIG-P 320. That means there's almost zero room for error. These guns demand flawless trigger discipline, especially when reholstering. If your shirt, a hoodie string, or even your own finger slips into that trigger guard, there's no second chance. Now, can appendix carry be done safely? Absolutely. But only if you're disciplined, trained, and your gear is dialed in. That means having a holster that completely covers the trigger guard. It has to be rigid, no collapse, no flex. It needs high retention, no excuses. And above all, you look the holster in before you reholster. Every single time. Be smart about your gun choice too. Double-action pistols, revolvers, or anything with a manual safety, they're more forgiving. But striker-fired guns? You better be perfect. Appendix carry is lightning fast. No doubt about that. But speed means nothing if it ends in blood. Use this method with caution, or don't use it at all. Next up, let's look at a carry method that might seem smart on paper, but can get you seriously hurt in real life. At first glance, small of back carry feels like a solid setup. It's discreet, it's tucked away, and it disappears under just about any shirt. Some folks even say it feels natural. But here's the thing. Just because it feels right doesn't mean it is. The big problem? You're carrying a loaded firearm directly over your spine. And that's one of the worst ideas in the entire gun world. If you slip and fall flat on your back, you're not just hitting the ground. You're landing on a chunk of steel, jammed right against your spine. That's a straight shot to a serious spinal injury. And this isn't theory, it's happened. That's why law enforcement agencies across the country have banned this method outright. Officers have been paralyzed after falling on radios or backup guns carried in that exact spot. But it doesn't stop there. Small of back carry is also slow, awkward even. To get to your weapon, you've got to reach around, twist your body, and hope you don't get blindsided in the process. That motion alone can get you attacked before your hand ever touches the grip. Then there's retention. If your gun's behind you, you can't see it. You can't guard it. And in a real-world scuffle, someone else might get to it before you do. The truth is simple. You want a carry method that helps you win the fight, not one that puts you in a worse spot than being unarmed. Bottom line? Small of back carry might look slick in the mirror, but in a real fight, it falls apart fast. And finally, let's talk about a method some folks still rely on, but usually for the wrong reasons. Ankle carry might sound clever. It's discreet. It's low profile. Seems like a smart backup plan, right? But out in the real world, it's one of the most impractical and risky carry styles you can choose. Let's start with mobility. Your legs are always in motion. That means your holster is shifting constantly. Even the best ankle rigs can loosen up over time. And that leads to printing, discomfort, or worst case, your gun hits the floor. And let's be real, drawing from your ankle? It's slow. Like really slow. Unless you're already sitting, crouching, or down on the ground, reaching all the way to your ankle burns up time you probably don't have in a self-defense scenario. And then there's gun size. You're stuck with a small, lightweight firearm. That usually means giving up capacity, accuracy, and stopping power. 3 things you definitely don't want to sacrifice when lives are on the line. Now, add in the chaos of a fight. If you're tackled or knocked to the ground, your ankle is a horrible place for a weapon. Hard to reach, easy to grab, wide open for someone else to take. Sure, ankle carry has niche uses. Backup guns for law enforcement. Deep concealment in very specific scenarios. But for most civilian carriers, the trade-offs just aren't worth it. If ankle carry is your only option, it might be time to rethink the whole setup. So, what actually works? Let's break down the carry styles that get it right, when they're done the right way. Not every method is a risk. Some strike that sweet spot between safety, speed, and concealment, especially when paired with good gear and solid training. Inside-the-waistband, or IWB, is a favorite for a reason. It keeps the gun close to your body. It's easy to conceal. And if you've got a quality holster, it gives you strong retention, minimal printing, and a smooth, natural draw. Outside the waistband, or OWB, is another solid choice. It's fast, comfortable, and easy to train with. Yeah, it's a little harder to hide, but if you can open carry or wear a cover garment, it's a top-tier setup. Pocket carry? When it's done right, it works. A small revolver or a subcompact pistol, carried in a real pocket holster that covers the trigger guard, can be a great low-profile option. Backup gun, deep concealment, or just simple and discreet. Pocket carry has its place. But even the safest method won't save you. If your gear fails, or your training does, even the best carry setup falls apart without the right gear and the right habits. Let's start with equipment. A good holster isn't optional. It's critical. It needs to fully cover the trigger guard, stay rigid under pressure, and hold your firearm securely without making it impossible to draw. Cheap nylon rigs, floppy fabric holsters, throw them out. They're more dangerous than helpful. Look for adjustability, cant, ride height, retention. That stuff lets you dial in your setup to fit you, your draw stroke, your body mechanics. When the gear fits the shooter, not just the gun, everything works better. Now, let's talk training, because this is where it all comes together. Drawing under pressure, reholstering safely, retaining your weapon in a struggle. These aren't learn-it-once-and-done skills. They take reps. They take consistency. They take muscle memory. A smooth, safe draw doesn't just need to work on the range. It needs to work when your hands are shaking, when everything's on the line. That's why dry fire matters. That's why draw drills matter. That's why scenario training matters. If you carry every day, but don't train, then what you're really carrying is a false sense of security. Because the gun isn't what makes you dangerous. Your readiness is what makes the difference. Before we wrap up, carrying a firearm is no joke. It's not about looking tactical or checking some box on your EDC list. It's about staying alive and keeping the people around you safe. Avoiding these 3 carry mistakes? That could be the difference between walking away from a threat or not. So take a hard look at your setup. Look at your gear, your training, your habits, and ask yourself, if something went down tomorrow, are you really ready? If this video gave you something to think about, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone you know who carries every day. You might just help them avoid a fatal mistake. Stay smart, stay safe, and as always, carry with purpose.